So if you're not from Canada, you probably don't know, but the Canadian media, the corporate media in Canada, is insanely biased against Donald Trump. I mean, they're biased against conservatism in general, any conservative party. But it seems like they have even more hate for Trump than they do for Canadian conservatives. And Trudeau himself is following their lead in trying to scare Canadians with his terrifying specter of MAGA conservatives in Canada.
Glaringly obvious to everyone except for certain MAGA conservatives.
The real story is the rise of a right-wing American MAGA-influenced thinking.
Unlike these MAGA conservatives.
Well, I must tell you that an increasing number of Canadians are saying, well, I'd rather have something like that than be financially ruined and have the kindergarten teacher tell my kid that he's born in the wrong body. It is an unrelenting tsunami of propaganda against Trump, against MAGA, and there is no lie that they won't credulously spout as if it's absolutely true, like Russia collusion, fine people hoax, Russian bounties, insurrection. And don't you know that Donald Trump's diet is driven by fear? A propagandist tried it for a whole day and wrote about it. And guess what? They'll have somebody from the Washington Post come on and explain it all to you. So as a result, Trump has very low support in Canada. But guess what? Trudeau has even less. That's not going to make him happy. Here's a headline: Canadians support Trump over Trudeau. That's from a Spark advocacy poll. Trump received 33% support, while Trudeau received 31%. And here's a poll from Ipsos that says that 72% of Canadians, over 7 in 10 Canadians, now think it's time for the Liberals to elect a new leader to lead them into the next election. Or put another way, 72% of Canadians have had it with Trudeau and his Trudeau government. Let's see, a recent poll conducted by Spark Advocacy has found that support for Donald Trump has grown in Canada since Joe Biden took office, with 33% of respondents saying they would vote for the former president over his successor if given the opportunity. And, you know, that 33% is still low, and it's not surprising with, again, the tsunami of propaganda that comes out of our corporate media. But it's still better than Trudeau. And this just goes to prove an old saying, you know, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So even with an insane level of bias against him in Canadian media, and an insane level of bias for Justin Trudeau in Canadian media, he's still less popular than Trump. That's got to be a victory of some kind, isn't it? Says young men were the demographic most likely to support Trump at 52%, while older women were least likely at 21%. And I don't find this surprising at all. It says before he lost the 2020 presidential election, only 16% of Canadians favored Trump over Biden. An Angus Reid poll released Monday attempted to highlight Trump's unpopularity in Canada via the headline, quote, State of the Nations, Canadians fear for the impacts of another Trump term as U.S. election 2024 looms. However, the data showed that while a slight majority of Canadians, 53%, believe a Biden victory in 2024 would be better for the Canadian economy than a Trump win, almost 30% think it would make no difference. The economy under Trump was much better, and that's good for Canada because they buy a lot of our stuff. But, you know, again, Canadians really don't have much idea what's happening in the States because most of the news they get about the States, is either from mainstream American media, or if it's Canadian media, it's just simply cut and paste from like the New York Times and then run through a teleprompter. So to finish this off, what do we make of this? That Trump is actually more popular in Canada than Trudeau. Well, for reasons that we've already gone over, Trump's support is still low in Canada. It speaks more to just how incredibly incompetent and destructive the Trudeau administration has been and continues to be. And it doesn't seem to matter how much money he throws at the corporate media in Canada. Because at the end of the day, reality on the ground is reality, and it doesn't really matter what a teleprompter tells you if the teleprompter is wrong. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.